Look at that. Sensational. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol for all the belts at 100.
The boxing world is on fire as Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, two undefeated light heavyweight champions, are finally about to meet in what's being built as one of the biggest fights of the year. However, with all the recent tension between these two, it seems we might actually get a fight much better than what we expect. And the latest heated face-to-face shows us just that with the White Blood Count International Boxing Federation and World Boxing Organization belts held by Artur Beterbiev and the West Bromwich Albion title belonging to Artur Beterbiev, the stakes couldn't be higher as the two juggernauts are set to unify the division. "You know you don't get this," Bivol said calmly in the face. The line was simple, but the underlying message was clear. Bivol didn't just believe he could win, he knew it. Artur Beterbiev, known for his devastating power, didn't take kindly to the jab of the Hut. The unified champion has built a fearsome reputation, with all of his 19 victories coming by way of knockout. He responded with a cold glare, but it was clear that Rohit Baldesine's words had struck a nerve. Burr leaned forward slightly, his broad shoulders and stoic face conveying a silent threat. "Talk all you want now." Baba finally said, "You won't say anything when I'm done with." The back and forth was brief, but the intensity of the moment had the audience on Artur Beterbiev remained unmoved, brushing off Beterbiev's words as if they were nothing more than hot air. "You fought guys who couldn't take your power," Bivol fired back. "I'm not them. I've beaten tougher fighters, and I'll beat you too." There's a sense that Artur Beterbiev, who shocked the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez in May 2022, has unlocked a new level of confidence since that monumental victory. His precise technical style has frustrated even the most aggressive opponents, and he believes Beterbiev power will be no different. Artur Beterbiev's calm demeanor in the face of Beterbiev's knockout streak is a testament to his self-confidence. But this was not the only time these two have been at it, as if the Beterbiev flawless 20-0 record with 20 knockouts and 3 light heavyweight titles weren't enough. The stoic 39-year-old also made news during another previous press conference about something much different: his silence. Artur Beterbiev hardly spoke, but his minimal words packed a punch that set the tone for what could become one of the most significant fights in boxing history. The press conference in London became a masterclass in understated confidence, and even though Beterbiev said little, his presence spoke volumes when asked how he felt about facing Bivol, a fellow Russian who holds the West Bromwich Albion belt. Beterbiev's only reaction was to spot another belt. "I'm collecting all the belts, and I need one more simple straight," but within those few words was a clearer message. Bev is not here to talk, he's here to conquer. For all the press conference theatrics, which are usually filled with trash talk and big promises, Better have made it clear that words don't win fights. Actions do the silence, especially from a fighter known for being a walking demolition machine, only added to his mystique. In fact, Beterbiev has built a reputation as one of the most devastating punchers in the sport, known for breaking down his opponents with surgical accuracy. Among his past victims are world champions like Callum Smith, Joe Smith, and Alexander Gasic are all left in the rubble of his relentless power. But this fight isn't just a normal battle for another belt. It's a high-stakes encounter that puts Bivol's raw destruction against the cerebral style of Dmitry Bivol, a man who might just be his kryptonite. While Artur Beterbiev works with the mindset of a bulldozer, Bivol brings something different to the table: finesse, boxing IQ, and the ability to outthink his opponents. Artur Beterbiev manager Vadim Kurnov defended his fighter skill set at the press conference, saying boxing is more about class, IQ, style, and skills, and Colin Love's confidence isn't misplaced. Ball has an impressive 20-2-0 record with 11 knockouts, but more importantly, he has the kind of disciplined technical style that has made him one of the most respected fighters in the sport today. His crowning achievement came when he delivered the stunning performance against Canelo Alvarez, the pound-for-pound king at the time. Artur Beterbiev's win over Canelo wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. Even though the official scorecards read 115,113, most viewers agreed the fight wasn't nearly that close. Bivol systematically dismantled Canelo, a fighter many assumed would steamroll his way through the light heavyweight division, but Bivol had other plans, outclassing Alvarez with a sophisticated mix of defense, ring generalship, and perfectly timed LLY counters. It was a boxing masterclass, and it earned Bivol the Fighter of the Year award from the 2020 Boxing Writers Association. At the press conference, they described the upcoming Bivol showdown as a battle between the world's best pure boxer and the world's most destructive puncher, Artur Beterbiev. Promoter Eddie Hearn went a step further, calling it one of the purest matches in the sport. According to Hearn, this is the best fight in boxing, and for once, the hyperbole usually reserved for these events felt genuine. This isn't just another title fight, this is the fight that could define an entire era of the light heavyweight division. Todd Dubu, a Beterbiev promoter and top-ranked president, kept it simple when describing why his fighter would emerge. Victorious have always loved destruction, and this guy is all about it. He went on to say, "My friends call me during his fights and ask who this monster is." Indeed, Beterbiev has earned his nickname as a monster in the ring, with his 100% knockout rate serving as undeniable proof that nobody can survive 12 rounds with him. When asked why the fight between these two Russian titans took so long to develop, Beterbiev offered a sly grin and replied, "Ask him," pointing to Bivol. He didn't shy away from the moment, offering his own sharp retort. "It seemed to me that was better. Bev only wanted to work on fights pushed by top rankers." The tension between the two fighters was obvious, even if most of it was expressed through looks and brief remarks rather than full-blown verbal exchanges. Both fighters took a moment to thank Saudi Arabia's His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for financially backing the fight with bulls, saying there was no person who could make the fight. "And now we have His Excellency who loves boxing and made it happen despite all the gravity of the occasion." Artur Beterbiev remained elusive when asked if he had a message for Bivol. "He knows already," was all he said. This cryptic response sparked speculation among commentators, who wondered if Artur Beterbiev had the upper hand during their days of training together as Russian amateurs. Did Artur Beterbiev ever knock Bivol down or rough him up in sparring? Kurnov later told Boxing Scene that the two fighters only trained and worked together, without offering any additional insight into who might have gotten the better of those sessions. Eddie Hearn, however, was quick to shut down any idea that Beterbiev would have an effortless night in the ring. "Dmitry's fighting is on a different level, and it needs to be against this wrecking machine," Hearn said, but Bivol hasn't been given the credit he deserves. He beat Canelo with perfect ease. He has all the ability to stand this man on his head, footwork, ring, IQ, calm. "We have someone who's very special indeed." Hearn has been pushing for this fight for 6 years, ever since Canelo first told him we needed Beterbiev. Now the fight is finally here, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The winner will become the undisputed champion and maybe the sport's most dominant figure.
No, not 50-50. One, Beterbiev is 38 years old. Beterbiev has been down.
Yes, yeah.
Bivol never been down. Bivol been in there with who at the time was pound the best, which was Canelo Alvarez. Made him look like nothing. So I'm not saying it's 50-50. Beterbiev got everything.
Bell, for his part, exudes quiet confidence every time I train. "I think my opponent is the most dangerous opponent I've ever met in the ring," he said when asked about the threat posed by Beterbiev. "Of course he's dangerous. Look at his record. I love challenges. I love to be tested. And this is a huge challenge." Bivol went on to express his unwavering belief in his own skills, saying, "I believe in my skills, my experience, my mindset, and in my preparation, I will be undisputed." But if silence is any indication, he thinks that the fight has already been won before the first punch is even thrown. Hearn, though, stays convinced that Bivol has what it takes to dethrone the knockout king. "I think better be arrogant," Hearn said bluntly. "We're here to talk about the fight." Now both Bivol and boxing fans must wait a little longer for what promises to be one of the most anticipated fights in modern boxing. "I'm happy. I'm pleased that I'm close to my goal," Bivol told Queensberry, speaking about the prospect of actually stepping into the ring against BBV. This is a man who has made a career out of carefully breaking down his opponents with sharp technical skills, precision, and a calm, calculated approach to fighting. For Bivol, this fight is more than just another match. It's the culmination of everything he has worked for. It's like you went to the final stop in your career. "I think in this weight class, this goal motivated me to be better, to go to the gym, to wake up in the morning. This goal, which I see with open eyes and which I want to reach." Bivol's rise through the ranks of boxing has been defined by his intelligence inside the ring. He's a master at reading his opponents, adapting to their styles, and then systematically dismantling them over the course of a fight. Bivol is known for his excellent timing, sharp footwork, and the ability to dictate distance, all of which will be critical in a potential bout with Beterbiev. At 39 years old, Beterbiev remains one of the most feared fighters in boxing with a perfect knockout record. He has stopped every opponent he has faced, making him a truly devastating force in the ring. Despite his age, Beterbiev continues to perform at an elite level, showing no signs of slowing down. In fact, his most recent fight in January against former super middleweight champion Callum Smith was arguably one of his best performances to date. Artur Beterbiev applied relentless pressure, breaking Smith down over 7 brutal rounds before securing yet another stoppage. Dmitry Bivol, however, remains undeterred by Beterbiev's fearsome image. He's a great fighter, a great puncher, and he has good technique, Val said, acknowledging the threat posed by his Russian counterpart. I watch his fights. Of course, not too much, but I watched his last fights. It was a terrific performance against Smith. He showed that he still has power pressure, and he's confident. It was a fantastic fight. There's a quiet confidence in Artur Beterbiev's words. He knows that Artur Beterbiev will present the toughest challenge of his career, but he also believes in his own abilities to overcome it. Bivol is not one to be easily intimidated, and his calm demeanor shows the mindset of a fighter who trusts in the work he has put in to reach this point. Bivol's style is built around his incredible power. His opponents often find themselves unable to withstand the steady pressure and brutal punches that come from every angle. The sheer physicality of his approach overwhelms most fighters, and his ability to maintain that pressure from the opening bell until the fight's conclusion is what has made him such a dominant force in the ring at 39 years old. It would be natural to assume that Vladimir Bivol might be slowing down, but his recent performances suggest otherwise. His infrequent appearances make it difficult for opponents to find any weaknesses, as Artur Beterbiev has shown that he remains as dangerous as ever. For Bivol, the key to victory will lie in his ability to control the pace of the fight. Beterbiev thrives when he can force his opponents to fight on his terms, but Bivol has made a career out of dictating the flow of his bouts. His timing and precision allow him to land clean shots while avoiding damage, and his mastery of distance makes it difficult for even the most aggressive opponents to find success in a possible clash with Beterbiev. Bivol, ability to stay calm under pressure and stick to his game plan will be crucial. Bivol remains confident in his skills. We'll see how it goes in the ring. It's not personal at all. He has what I want and need. Val stated, I can just say that I believe in my skills, and I will do everything to be an undisputed world winner, and I'm capable of doing it. His words show a fighter who is not only physically but also mentally prepared for the challenge that awaits him. Bivol understands that becoming the undisputed champion is within his reach, and he is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. His belief in himself is unwavering, but he knows that nothing can be taken for granted in the ring. Boxing is a sport where one punch can change everything, and Batter's knockout power makes him a constant threat. However, his disciplined approach and sharp reflexes give him a fighting chance to navigate the danger and find openings to land his own shots. Trainer Robert Garcia has his eyes firmly set on the upcoming bout between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, and he's tipping Bivol to take the fight by decision for Garcia. The matchup between these two Russian champions, widely regarded as the best light heavyweights in the world, is a battle that could go either way, but when pressed on who he thinks will come out on top, he leans toward the Slicker's more technical bull. I can't wait for that one man, Garcia told Fight Hub TV with real excitement. That's going to be a fight that's hard to pick the winner. I lean towards Bivol by decision. Garcia recognizes the magnitude of this fight, not just for the two fighters, but for the sport of boxing itself. A Beterbiev versus Artur Beterbiev matchup has been years in the making, and while it was originally set for an earlier date, an unfortunate knee injury to Beterbiev has delayed the bout. Now with both fighters ready to go, the stage is set for an epic showdown on October 12th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where Artur Beterbiev's WBA belt will be on the line against Beterbiev's unified WBC, IBF, and World Boxing Organization titles. I just think he's got that style that he's not going to allow Dmitry Bivol to get in, Garcia explained. I don't know, I just think Bivol will push it up and earn a decision win. Garcia's observation here reflects his deep understanding of the technical nuances of boxing. Dmitry Bivol is known for his ability to control the distance in the ring, keeping opponents at bay with his sharp footwork, pinpoint accuracy, and his disciplined, patient approach to fighting. While Artur Beterbiev is a relentless force constantly applying pressure and looking for the knockout, Dmitry Bivol has the tools to neutralize that aggression and rack up points over the course of the fight. However, Garcia isn't dismissing Beterbiev's power and experience. At 39 years old, Beterbiev continues to be a devastating force inside the ring despite his age. He has shown no signs of slowing down, and is fresh off a dominant performance against Callum Smith, where he once again displayed his crushing knockout power. Garcia knows this better. Dmitry Bivol's ability to end fights with a single punch makes him a constant threat, no matter how good he may be. Performing, I also wouldn't be surprised if better Dmitry Bivol hurts Bal and knocks him out because that guy has so much power that he could knock anybody out. Garcia admitted that his acknowledgement of Beterbiev power highlights the unpredictability of this fight. No matter how skilled Dmitry Bivol is, a single mistake could be enough for better Dmitry Bivol to capitalize and change the course of the fight. The intrigue around this fight also lies in the contrasting styles of the two fighters. While Dmitry Bivol is a more technical and cerebral boxer depending on his ability to outthink and outmaneuver his opponents better, Dmitry Bivol is a brutal force of nature moving forward with relentless pressure and destructive power. Garcia's prediction that Dmitry Bivol will edge out a decision win suggests that he thinks Dmitry Bivol will be able to avoid getting into a brawl and instead use his superior boxing skills to frustrate him and keep him from landing his devastating punches.
And you hit the back, then it's like boom, 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 and then you're like looking over like, oh my gosh, like, and then what was after, like, I remember.
But as Garcia points out, the risk for Dmitry Bivol will always be present. Beterbiev's power has been his hallmark throughout his career, and it's that one-punch knockout potential that makes him such a dangerous opponent for Dmitry Bivol. The key will be to avoid getting caught in exchanges with Dmitry Bivol and to keep his composure and discipline for the full 12 rounds in Garcia's view. Beterbiev's technical skills and discipline give him the edge in this fight, but he also knows that anything can happen when you're facing a puncher as powerful as Artur Beterbiev. Fans of the sport are in for a treat as the two world's best light heavyweights prepare to collide, with the possibility of an undisputed champion emerging at the end of the night for Garcia. The fight is a tough call, but his experience as a trainer and his knowledge of the sport have led him to favor Artur Beterbiev's more refined boxing skills. However, he stays fully aware of the danger that Beterbiev poses. Well, what do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.